the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show. And you say Shot City, the tailgate show, the tailgate show, the tailgate show.
What is up? Welcome back for another episode of The Tailgate Show. It is Double A, it's Air Jer, it's B Diddy, and it is none other than Bear Down Loyal Biscuits and whoa, hold up, True Brisker and
True Gravy.
Gravy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back for another exciting episode of As the Off Season Turns.
Yes. How's everybody doing tonight? Ready to roll?
Pens
guys,
off
or what?
7-2 victory. Feeling pretty good.
What is that?
Boo.
What is that jersey?
It's my hockey sweater.
What jersey is that?
Crystal Tang.
Is that like a who is that? Is that like some character that sells popsicles?
Did you just say Pootie Tang?
No, I did not. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry.
Jared's trying- Did Jared just hijack the show with hockey?
And that's hockey talk.
Oh, jeez.
This is going well.
Yeah. So
We're already off the rails with hockey.
yeah, what the heck? So we're gonna roll down tonight. Just kind of like Poles made his media rounds. We'll talk about the rookie minicamp pressers. Pony in the trenches wants to talk about our new boy Robinson, the defensive end converted wide receiver from Miami of Ohio. And Bears mentioning, we're going to do a little segment, just anything Bears related you guys have heard, podcasts you've listened to, articles, whatever. We'll just mash it up and then we'll throw some shade. And so we'll kick it off with the Poles media rounds here. He did 670 the score, did ESPN 1000. You guys got anything from those interviews that you want to talk about?
Other than he's all in on Fields, according to some of the radio work, but actions are speaking louder than words, if you're asking me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it feels like he is more tapped into what is being said, and there's like an active PR response. I also think this is actually what he believes, and I think it's actually what's happening, but it also happens to kind of be targeted to dispel a lot of the things being said. So it's sort of interesting. I mean, I don't know. I think Pace was, even though he was also a young guy, Pace always struck me as kind of old school, in his ways. And I don't
Very robotic too.
Yeah, and I don't think he was as tapped to what was being said. I think he was super insulated. I mean, he's the guy that drafted Mitch in secret. So, whereas I think Poles is very much a person that grew up with social media. I mean, he's not super young, but I think it's enough of a different mentality where I think he is tapped into what's being said. And I think he's smartly and honestly deflecting it. I don't think he's making up something. I think legitimately his strategy and his feelings right now do align with what he's saying. And then it also happens to dispel some of the narratives out there about him not being all in on Justin, which is like super lazy. Like, it's like, you're really trying to tell me that they would hire somebody who was just going to throw this investment away. Like their plan was to take the job, but not take the focal point. It's just such a weird fucking narrative. So he's dispelling that. I thought he did a decent job. He's come a long way from being kind of, the moment looked too big for him at first. I think he feels good about the draft because he executed his plan, and I think he came out of it feeling like he got guys that he can work with. So
now, do you think that he's saying he believes in Justin and he's all in on Justin, but at the same time, this wasn't his guy. And I don't know how many situations have been like this in the NFL where the ownership allows the GM and the coach to go ahead and trade the next year's pick this was talked about. We'll talk about it later with Sims and Florio on PFT, but like it's kind of odd that ownership allowed them to make that move, get rid of future assets, just to fire them. When back then we thought that gave them another year or two, right? Off the
Well,
rip.
it should have, but they fucked it up so royally.
Right,
Like,
and
all they fucking had to do was go, you know what, like, let's just let Justin start. But the problem is that Ryan Pace had set so many time bombs in the roster that they had to make one more fucking last go of it, and they really were like fucking Thelma and Louise going off the cliff together with Andy fucking Dalton like in the back seat, and they really thought, look, we have all this investment. They really believed that A-Rob was going to try this season. Like, they believed a lot of dumb shit, and they really decided to go all in on that, you know, with this fucking notion of the Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes framework that kind of just sealed the deal for stupidity.
And I'm almost wondering if it was. I mean, it almost comes off now, hindsight, right? It almost comes off like ownership wanted Fields, and Nagy didn't. That's how Nagy handled it.
Yeah, I don't think Nagy knew what the fuck was going on, and
I'm just saying that's how
I don't
he
think
didn't
George
let him
has a lot of
compete.
thoughts in his head.
Yeah.
So, I think George.
I think they all wanted Fields. I think we all wanted him.
I don't know.
Who did.
He didn't treat him like he was the guy he wanted, man.
Can you imagine, like, so let's just assume that George actually is kind of like a regular Joe as he sort of comes across. He's a little Ned Flanders-y, but whatever. Like, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt that he's like a normal human being. Imagine the level of angst that he must feel, unless he's just fucking cranked out on Zoloft to the sky, about being in charge of this franchise. Like, his tenure has just been failure. Like, imagine him. I mean, we're twisted up on some crazy shit about this team. Can you imagine how he must be if he actually really does give a fuck? And by all accounts, he does. Biscuits, I've been talking forever and you haven't said shit, so go.
No, I mean, I think you're doing a good job. You're echoing pretty much everything I believe. I think the thing, going back to the conversation, would they bring Poles and Eberflus in here if they didn't believe in Justin? I think no. I think a good franchise would hire people and say, hey, if you are not in love with this guy, not tied to this guy, if I think you're the right guy for the job, you're allowed to move on from him,
right,
or to execute a plan that does not solely back the kid. George is a terrible owner. So I definitely think he made the demand that, hey, anyone that's taking this job, Justin's the guy. That's who you're building around. So I don't think the first two picks signify anything to me that they don't believe in Justin. I think the difference in value of those guys on the board compared to maybe the next wide receiver offensive lineman was just that drastic. And that's just kind of how it fell.
Yeah, I don't think, we can parse through the draft again. I guess, and kind of revalue it. I mean, it fell how it fell. Well, you can't determine the grade of this draft until 2 years from now, realistically. At least 1 year. I mean, anything else is just fucking horseshit. Like, people, I mean, us included, we fucking dug into these UDFAs, and those motherfuckers didn't even have a cup of coffee in town, bro. They were like already just outie.
Rest in peace, Scarva.
Like, they went out there, barely put on the shorts, got outside on the field one time, and were like, deuces. Like,
Master T gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Master T breakdown.
If they cut that punter, you're going to weep.
Man, I did all that
but
work
there was
for
one.
nothing.
There was one that made it.
Ooh, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Fly high, Ball State Cardinal. Fly high.
He has not made the roster.
I know. He's talking about 90 man.
I said make the roster.
Listen, I'm just
90 man's
here
not a
to
roster
pour
now.
gas on the
man's
fire.
not
I never said. I said the roster.
No.
I said the roster.
Yeah, 53 is the roster.
Yeah, I didn't say 90 man. Fuck out of here. I mean, cool, Ball State. I mean, whoever runs the show page must be super into Ball State.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Super into winning.
My,
Now, the
my
thing
ball state is low and hanging. That's the state of my ball.
I mean, I have respect for what Poles was saying about like he would have done the team a disservice if he just jumped on a position of need versus going by his board. So at least he's sticking to what he
Yeah.
believed his board was. You got to give him credit for that because Pace did some stupid shit. You know what I mean? This wasn't a stupid draft.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
devil's advocate, what else is he gonna fucking say? He's gonna say, "Well, my plan didn't work, but I really like this guy, so whoop." You know, like he's
No,
gonna
sure.
say
I'm
it.
just talking about as far as the
Yeah.
interview. Yeah, we can get into like was it bullshit or not, but he did. He seems genuine. He doesn't seem
He does.
super programmed.
Or he's like a fucking evil mastermind, and the whole being a mopey wimp in the beginning was like just to completely take our guard down.
I am wondering if Virginia put that bet in Hallis Hall for Pace.
Oob! Yakub in the house. What's the name of his podcast? 10 Minutes of Glory. What is it?
It's 10
Coop's
minutes
Corner,
of Yakub's.
man, you're right.
10 minutes of Yakub's comments on our show.
Kubin on the
Oh man! And if you're listening at home, if you had 11 minutes as the over and under for Diddy to bitch about the comments, congratulations.
No, yeah.
Is that the
something that-
nickname?
It just always seems to happen in mid sentence of me saying something.
Literally.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it always does seem to happen to Diddy. I'm not even gonna lie. That's
Hey,
true.
I mean, you know, I didn't do that.
I didn't do that.
That's
I don't
fucking
have
Johnny
control.
Ball State over here. He's trying to
He's trying to
get-
put that Ball State
Yeah.
opinion out there.
So we
And
also
he-
had the pressers from the rookie minicamp. Everybody, all the rookies interviewed, all the
Pressers.
coaches. Ian Cunningham did a thing of all access too. Do you guys have any takeaways from any of those interviews from the players, coaches? Start with you,
Cunningham
Jer.
was on with Joniak.
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
Well, you didn't miss much.
Yeah.
Start with you, Jer.
Getsy, you know, one of the guys that he brought up is your alma mater, or not alma mater, but you wish it was your alma mater, Notre Dame receiver, Equinemius St. Brown. He said he feels real positive about him and that his best football's ahead of him and not behind him, which I found that kind of interesting. And then also, you know, when he talks about the offense and looking back almost to 2010 at some of the offensive plays that maybe they could bring back instead of being hell-bent on running this same old shit. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Can we like shorten that dude's name? Can we go with ESB or something? Like that guy's name is already super fucking annoying to me.
He's got to
Easier.
earn.
He's
He's got to earn abbreviations, man. He's got to earn that.
Bro, I mean, like hockey guys get their
Oh, back to
abbreviation right
hockey.
away.
Jesus Christ,
Hockey
man.
talk. Hey,
I
man.
mean, you know, it'd be like,
The one Northeasterner here that doesn't like hockey.
I'm not Canadian, bro.
You're fucking in Connecticut. Hartford Whalers.
Connecticut.
I believe most of the NHL is teams in America. Just saying.
Yeah. it's true.
I hate to break it to you, but like the Hartford Whalers did so well. They're in freaking Carolina.
How can you not like hockey, but you can sit there and watch 6 hours of paint drying on the wall baseball? That blows my mind.
I don't.
Yeah,
Next.
he doesn't watch baseball.
He doesn't watch baseball till
Cool story,
August.
though.
Quick to flex the Red Sox, yet he doesn't even watch. No,
I watch playoff baseball. That's
Yeah.
what Red Sox fans do. Like let the White Sox fans
Oh,
fucking
fair-
celebrate
fair-
till All Star
fair
break.
weather
And,
fans. Gotcha. Fair weather.
no, it's called being married with kids. I don't have 182 days to watch sports a year,
Oh, now he's
Mm.
gonna
or whatever
go
the hell the
there.
schedule is.
It's like, oh, you're single. You have all this free time.
Yeah, that's
Like you don't,
that's
bro.
the truth, bro.
Jeez.
You're gonna stand alone on that.
No,
mountain
but
there, pal.
kind of. You're saying Jared Getsy,
All those hours you put in at the soup kitchen.
all the things that we talked about last off season with like a focus and like trying to coach to the talent. He keeps preaching that. We weren't getting
Yeah.
that from the old coaching staff, so I do
Oh,
like
yeah.
what he's saying. Like you said, Abe, pre-show, we don't really know much about him. He was an offensive coordinator by title. He didn't call the play, so it's a huge unknown. But I like what he's preaching.
If he wanted to, he could easily be fucking the opposite too. Like it's not like it's not like, he didn't do anything in Green Bay. He was just under an offensive coach, and he had a Hall of Fame quarterback. So the offensive coordinator is never going to get credit in that scenario, unfortunately.
Correct.
We'll see. They lost a lot. Obviously, people spoke highly of Getsy. And then you mix in his little Shanahan, fucking Kubiak ties, the outside zone. So maybe we'll just fucking see something that actually works. I mean, but like you've said, the good thing about it is he's just talking about building from the ground up around the players and their strengths. It's not this, I have the fucking missile codes. We just have to get Mitch to turn the key at the exact same time as me, and it's gonna be fireworks.
Yeah, it's not this offense takes 5 years to learn. He's like, we're building this. This is
Yeah.
the Chicago Bears offense, not Getsy's offense. So I like
isn't
the
that something?
I thought it was interesting that he mentioned flexibility amongst all the skill position players several times in that interview.
Right.
That he doesn't want one guy who can just go deep, not one guy that just can run a
Well,
a
you
post.
need redundancy to be able to be multiple in your looks. Like if
Yeah,
you
there's an idea.
the fucking problem with Nagy and all his bullshit was that, like I've said before, as soon as Tariq Cohen came on the field, everybody in the fucking world knew what was going to happen. As soon as Cordarrelle Patterson came on the field, it was like, like everyone
Warning.
fucking knew. Warning: Cordarrelle
Danger.
Patterson is about to get the ball on 4th and 1. Like literally,
Warning.
yeah, it's just fucking awful.
He
So-
also he also
Danger.
talked about attacking the weakness of the opponent. Holy cow, what a
Right.
concept. We were
Yeah.
praying for that too, right?
Right. Imagine coming up against a team that can't stop the run, so you decide to run the ball. Like, what a fucking concept! I
Right.
can't like that would be that would seem like groundbreaking to us.
Right.
And then like adjusting properly at halftime.
No, now that's just crazy talk.
Like just adjusting. I'm not saying executing. Just show me the adjustment. I don't even need the players to
That's a
execute.
realistic view.
I just want proof that you paid attention in the first half. And not to like some fucking corny speech, because I'm sure he was great at giving corny speeches in the fucking halftime. I'm sure he got them all fired up and ready to spank each other in Club Dub or whatever. But like, he made no fucking adjustments.
The one thing he did say that I kind of liked, and this is kind of deep, and this should probably be a T-shirt, is Devontae wasn't Devontae until he became Devontae.
Mm.
And who was he specifically referencing there? Did he?
St. Brown and Pringle.
Equanimous. St. Brown.
St. Brown season.
It took until you fight.
EQ. I'm calling him EQ. What's up? Live with it.
BQ and
Hellcat
EQ.
EQ.
Chilling.
Hellcat.
Oh, BQ and EQ and RQ.
What?
Oh wait, I just named Roquan RQ. I don't know. I'm going with it. Fuck you.
It's all right.
Oh, RQ. We do have Robert Quinn,
Yeah.
and
Sure
Roquan
do.
is fucking Q. Roq.
That's it. Biscuits.
Everybody's Q.
Boats
got-
and host queue.
You got anything on any of the pressers that stuck out to you?
Roquan. Go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that stuck out to me was something that you, me, and Pony had discussed right after Eberflus got hired, which was people not recognizing the value of having a defensive coach telling the offense how to attack a defense the right way. And he specifically mentioned the running backs and having the flexibility out of the backfield as ball catchers. Pause. That you got to pick your poison. Do you match up with a safety? Do you match up with a linebacker? And that can be really hard to defend. So that was one of the things that stuck out to me. Is it looks like in this offense, outside of Mooney and Kmet being your 1 and 2, the running backs are going to be a heavy point of emphasis here.
You're going to have to be. You're going to have to be, because our matchup problems begin and end right there. We're not going to be out athleting anybody in many positions.
And I think it's clear that not only that, but I think it's clear that Poles drafted guys who have special teams ability. I think that was on their list of. I mean, it's almost like it's a trait. the willingness to play special teams is almost like the willingness to rebound in basketball. You know, like it's just you just have to want to, because special teams fucking sucks. Like
Right.
it sucks. Nobody wants to fucking play special teams. You run your ass off and you don't know when you're gonna get blindsided and fucking be out for the season. Like special teams is fucking, so you gotta have a certain type of mentality to play special teams, you know. And so I think they've chosen guys specifically that, because they know, like, listen, we're pulling starters out of the 5th and 6th round likely, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be able to play special teams, because
I think anything drafted before in the 4th and forward, you should probably think that you're going to get some starting reps out of.
yes. But
Yeah.
I just like the way they, you know, like you could say, oh, well, Velas is just a special teams guy, or Ebner. And we even said it when they were drafted. Oh, fuck, they drafted return guys. But it's like, then you kind of look and you go, okay, well, Ebner actually is, you know, like Baylor ran like a 3-headed monster. They basically ran the exact offense that we would like to run.
Yep.
Like that's what Ebner did at Baylor.
All 3 of those backs made the
Part of
league.
yes.
Yep.
Like he was part of a 3-headed monster. And he knows exactly what to do. This dude's just like, yep, already know this fucking system. Like he's good to go.
One cut and gone is the Shanahan offense.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's the way
it's let the flow of the blocks go and find the crease and hit it. Like that's it. You know, it's and this is that's why I like Ebner. I like Ebner more in that Debo role or Cordero. I don't want to call it the Cordero role.
I would agree with that. Joker.
He was a wide receiver before running back.
Right. I like him better because I'm worried that Velas is going to be too fast for that shit.
What happens to David Montgomery?
I don't know. We're going to see. It's adapt or die for David Montgomery, in my opinion.
Workload goes down. You got Herbert, who's going to be really good in that one cut and go system.
Yeah, that's what he does.
David Montgomery, if we actually can start blocking screens correctly, could be Matt Forte in this offense. Matt Forte light possibly, but Matt Forte, he can, He can receive. He can
I
run
just
just
worry
like
about his patience, though. His patience and vision is.
We have never seen him with the ability to be able to be patient. This freaking offensive line has been kind of ass. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. That's the truth.
I mean,
we had a spurt against the shit teams where we went on that big 4-game winning streak or whatever it was.
Let's be fair. This team did run the fucking ball last year. It's the only thing they did.
I'm just saying, Montgomery with a really good O-line would be a different animal.
Right, but like if he doesn't get hurt, we're talking about a guy that probably rushes for 1,300 yards last season.
Yeah.
Does Tiny Dancer quit dancing though?
I think he has quit dancing already.
He's got to hit the hole.
I understand that, but he has also never been an offense that allowed him to get any kind of fucking rhythm. And when he did get it, he was a beast.
Nagy didn't let them get rhythm at all.
When they did start running I formation and running a little bit of like, trap stuff.
Yeah, we're running zone though. We're gonna run a zone power offense.
I know. I agree. It's going to be an adjustment, and he is not going to be the feature back. He's not going to get 25 carries a game. People might be frustrated with that. I think people are going to be frustrated by that, though. Don't you think Bears beatheads are going to be frustrated?
I mean, it's modern day football,
100%.
and not a lot of guys do. It's a running back by committee in most places.
Well, yeah, you see Sonny Michel's
Meatballs
somewhere
want
else.
Derrick Henry. They want that style of workload here.
They want a roster and a system.
Henry.
They want a roster and a system that is so good that their running back is anonymous. They don't want to know the name of the fucking running back. They want to know the name of the offensive lineman, and they want to know the name of the scheme and the plays that they're running. They don't give a fuck about this, the Shanahan, Kubiak. Fuck, they don't give a fuck who the running back is.
Correct.
Like, obviously he needs to have a style that suits that, but that's it. And there's a million of those guys. Like, they are 5th round every year. You win another one, 5th round, no problem. I'll find another one. Like, they're just there.
Now, just to touch on my takes on these pressers, one thing that kind of stuck out to me. Well, the first thing I noticed is all these rookies are pretty damn polished on the mic, man. They all seemed super smooth, super intelligent. Like they all did good interviews. But the one thing that kind of stuck out to me is a lot of guys were talking about veterans on the team that reached out to them. I think Patrick reached out to Kramer. I think Monty Monty talked to Ebner. But Mr. Leader Eddie Jackson, they asked Brisker, did Jackson reach out to you? No, I haven't spoke to him yet.
That's fine.
That kind of spoke. It kind of stuck out to me anyway.
I don't want Eddie. Eddie Jackson can preferably not say a goddamn.
You remember that whole shit talk about interceptions are easy. Remember that whole thing, Mr. Leader on the field.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Eddie Jackson. I don't need to hear from you. Just play fucking ball.
I hear you.
To be a leader. No, because it didn't work. Like he looked like a fool, and he sounded like a fool. So just play your fucking game. Like
I was just surprised. Yeah. I was surprised
I'm not.
Eddie didn't even reach out.
I'm not. That's who he is, and that's fine. Just if he's a fucking asshole who intercepts the ball, I don't care. I'm good with it.
Another thing I liked was Brisker brought up the guys that he wants to emulate were all freaking stud freaking safeties. I think he talked about Sean Taylor, Ronnie Lott, Troy Polamalu, and Ed Reed. Like those are the to hear a young player
that's who every
take it back. Yeah, I know, but that's
smart.
That kind of gives you his mentality as a player. Like that's.
I mean, Jared, not a lot of guys can list back like that. You'd be surprised how many guys are not students of the game.
Right. You know who is a student of the game?
I'm going to hit on
Jones Jr. He takes notes.
He should be. He's like 40.
Speaking of guys.
Biggs put out something. He's a good note taker.
Taylor Jones Jr. is talking about watching George Michael Sports Machine.
I heard they highlighted that he brought his own whiteboard to practice.
Yes, he actually has a whiteboard. Everyone else is like, we have these Surface tablets, Velas. I don't know if you and he's
old people, man. Old people are up with technology.
They're wheeling out that old cool projector on the cart.
Yeah, the AV cart comes out. Everyone gather around. Everyone gather around. Fucking TV and the VCR.
the one guy took in these presses. The one guy I took the most out of was this guy Doug Kramer. Man, super impressive.
Kramer!
I mean, yeah.
Actually, can I just say that his presser was like he was like fucking Chris Farley. They were like, "Hey, what's it like to be a member of the?" This is awesome, man. This is awesome.
Yeah, he's like a Bears fan growing up.
Remember that time
that I got drafted by the Bears? That was awesome.
Talking how excited he was to finally be able to step foot in Hallis Hall. It was a cool moment. How his love for football came from being a Bears fan. The fact that one of us on this panel actually hates on this kid. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Because of the Bears.
That's
has pride for the city.
There's more than just me out there.
I mean, his favorite players were Hester and Urlacher, who played O-line. Then he had a lot of appreciation for Olin. Jerry, I just don't know how you can hate on the kid.
Lather me up. Oh, my God. You're making me wet.
Jerry, how can you hate on the practice squad center?
Dougie Kramers. Dougie Kramers.
I hope he proves me wrong.
Proves you wrong, my friend. He's gonna be teabagging your freaking forehead soon enough. Be like, I'm the starter. I'm the captain now.
When you're rolling around on the ground 90% of the time.
I'm the captain now. Yakub coming in the chat. Jer hates his family. Boom.
Me and Cuzzy had a falling out.
Cubsy? Cuzzy?
Me and Cuzzy.
Could you imagine if Dougie
Kramers Rogers over here? Go ahead, Biscuits.
Could you imagine if Dougie Kramers was snapping balls to Lamar Jackson? I think Jer would have a heart attack and die.
Possibly.
I mean, I'm
just looking at all those wide receivers that are just running to him.
So who was the quarterbacks at this thing? It was Plitt and Ryan Willis, right?
And Plitt, I didn't hear anything. I thought that we were going to at least give him a presser.
No, he should have.
He wants to win. We need to hear about this.
They're really missing out on the fucking, on the powerhouse of leadership that is one Plitt.
What's his first name?
It's hard to find the Plitt.
It is. You look around for it.
You got to look around for the Plitt. Got to fill around.
Plitt.
Yeah.
Anybody
now-
first name? No.
We're kind of revitalizing
Kyle?
an old.
I'm gonna go with Kyle. I'll take Kyle for 500.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
Jared would know. Jared, reach out to your source, bro.
In doubt, white quarterback, just guess Kyle. you have like a 73% chance of being right.
So we have a segment that we're bringing back here, Pony in the Trenches. Jared, you want to break down Robinson, man?
We didn't talk
the
about
floor.
it.
The floor is yours.
Pony in the trenches and the silver spoon. Okay.
No, we didn't talk about him last week, and I thought, well, we would be remiss if we didn't do that.
Mhm.
Watching him, he said Eberflus talked about his game against Central Michigan. So I watched this game against Central Michigan. Look at it through the body style of a Robert Quinn. The way he plays reminds me of Robert Quinn. A lot of hand slaps, uses speed. When he came around on the inside on stunts, he was pretty much stoned. He was not making any kind of penetration there. So, I mean,
Pause.
if he can learn from anybody, it's Robert Quinn. That's who he should model his game after. He does bend well. He does have good shoulder depth. I think, if you can get him on that same kind of level as Robert Quinn, you might have some.
Isn't that where the guy that the Bucks drafted, Brendan Raymond, went? Central Michigan. Did you? So
The
you
tackle?
watched it? Didn't you? Yeah. Didn't the Bucks draft that guy?
The tackle, yes. I think so.
I don't know who it was. I was listening to somebody that wished that we had drafted that. I think it was Zimmerman. Zimmerman went
He's good.
Kind of came back after having his freak out and was kind of came around a little bit on some of what polls had done, but he felt like they should have been picking that guy, Raymond, at that spot.
He's pretty good, but he has a little problem with speed.
He's more buzzwords. I mean, everybody speaks in buzzwords. I mean, that's funny, and I was giving Jared shit about it last week, but that's the language of scouting. It's fucking,
Yes.
It's always going to be buzzwords. Like, it just is what it is.
What would you like me to say? I mean, I don't know. It's like
I don't know.
that's the best description I have of it is what it is.
Right, but those are words.
Wait, hold up. It's your segment, bro. What do you mean? What do you want me to say? You just say what you want. It's your shit.
Jared, is he poor, hungry, and desperate?
No, he is well off, graduated college, and has 2 kids. And
Is he a dog?
He's got 2 kids already?
Yeah.
Man.
Robinson has 2 kids?
Well, we know one movie don't have. That's The Pullout.
He's Antonio Cromartie on the mic.
Some people actually fall in love,
found
Biscuits. Some people actually fall in love, man.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what it was. He loves something, that's for sure.
Not everybody jerks off looking in the mirror, Biscuits. All right, so
Wasn't that
I think we should have a
Is this a whole
segment
Buffalo
called,
Bill moment?
do we have a segment called Butter Your Biscuits? 'Cause we should.
It puts the butter
Biscuits
on
is
the
supposed to
steel.
have a wild game for us tonight.
No,
Yeah.
I was vetoed. I was told no game.
So, Jared,
Okay.
Diddy Grinch over here said no. Didn't have time
I said if
for
we're
it.
running out of things to talk about, bring your game. Have them on the burner.
Trust me, I got a game. Okay, it's
All
been
right.
cooking. So
All right.
we'll get to that later.
We have to get some game show music to kind of intro him.
We would have to upload it, and that would take effort.
We don't have that kind of
We
effects.
don't
on
even
this
have the new intro in
this
there
is?
yet. We got a
What do you think
world
this
class
is?
new intro that the world needs to see. We don't even
Right.
have it.
We got some sound effects. I borrowed this sound effect from CHGO. Stop. There's a sound effect.
Wow.
Tackle. Choke. Slap.
Chokehold. Finish him.
Finisher.
Crazy,
No,
craziness.
it's fine, guys. We can go on. Let's continue the podcast.
Shit's wild on the mean streets.
Let me
man.
tell you, if any of you guys try to choke me out, which I may have coming at some point, I will not be continuing the podcast after that. And one of you motherfuckers will lose an eye.
What did that make you look soft?
Wow. How did this turn into that?
Wow. All right.
No, there's like, I don't know what movie that is where the guy's like, The guy's like, I might fucking die. You might kill me, but just know that one of you is gonna lose an eye because it
never
will be
saw
the
that.
last fucking thing I do on this earth. Like right before a dude gets his ass kicked, and they're all looking at each other like, "Fuck, I don't want to lose my eye."
So Jerry, you got any more sweet nothings about Robinson?
No, I think that's about it. I mean,
So what was
he's
your comp for him, Quinn? If
Robert
everything
Quinn.
breaks right,
He's got, if you watch him, man, he's got good, man, he bends well. Like when he gets around, he does the hand slap, and then he just, the first thing I saw watching him was Robert Quinn. It's like, damn, I could see why they wanted him. Now, if he can play like that continuously, it might be something.
that I've been thinking of that thing that Poles said about.
He's pretty raw, man. It's gonna
Poles-
take.
Oh yeah, he's very
Yeah.
raw, but
Poles talked about, him that with defensive guys in the late rounds, you draft the flashes.
Yeah, the Pace would have drafted him in the first round
Yeah.
or second round because nobody heard of him, trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
mhm.
So, like, whatever. It's a good project. I like that guy. He's a good project. It's an interesting project. I think that's kind of what Charles Snowden was going to be, but I don't know what Charles Snowden is, and I don't think he really got a chance.
You know what he's not? He's not Lil Mac.
Yeah.
Pour
What a
one out
joke.
for you boys.
Yeah, pour one out. It's like Khalil, his brother's got the same genetics as him, so he can just like fake his way enough to be on a practice squad.
He actually played and got sacks for us last year. That's how bad we were at linebacker.
Right. Isn't that amazing? Like Ladarius Mack he's like probably like 50% of the intensity of his brother. Like you could tell he's like a younger kid. He's like a DJ. He just has amazing genetics. Like he can literally just emulate his brother, play football. He's never going to be Khalil, but he could be like a serviceable football player because he's so gifted genetically.
Right.
And just to comment on BK's comment here, Diddy, this is where I'm a permanent resident of Biscuitville. For all you Biscuitville members, we're actually going to do an OnlyFans of biscuits where you guys can kind of get in there and get your biscuits on. So we're working on that OnlyFans, and probably
So you have to eat the biscuit afterwards.
It'd be about $5 a month, and all proceeds will go to biscuits.
You better get a fucking.
Where's your legion, Diddy? Where's your legion? Here's mine.
You better get it.
I don't need a legion
because those biscuits are dry as fuck.
But yeah, so let's kind of move on to this whole thing. Bears mentioning just anything Bears related, guys. You've heard, articles you've read, anything you want to kick about our beloved Bears.
Want to start it off?
Well, A had mentioned Zim's pod. It was really good. I think he had EJ Snyder on with him.
Yeah.
And one thing that kind of that they were kind of like judging polls like a president your first 90 or 100 days or whatever.
Right,
like
EJ did, yeah.
The work that he's done, like he's added 53 guys to make a 90-man roster. Like that's pretty freaking insane. He's gotten rid of some unfortunately shitty contracts for where we are as a team. He's done a lot of work in a short period of time. Whether that work pays off, that remains to be seen. But like,
I mean, the teardown's been quick as fuck, like, and kind of in a low key fashion, but it needed to happen. I mean, the question is like, as he didn't necessarily take it down to the studs. I don't even know if there were studs.
Yeah,
there's only like two.
I mean, I was listening to Jason Leisure and Dan Bernstein today, and they were, they were talking about like what position groups did Pace leave in good shape.
There were like three that they came up with:
quarterback,
running back,
and kind of
pass rushers because Khalil was here.
Yes.
Khalil and Robert were here when he took over.
Were there.
And Travis.
Yeah. And Travis. That's what they came up with. Those three and quarterback is still a leap.
Right, I mean, but it's a quarterback with a lot of potential.
Yes. Yes. And then they mentioned, anybody would like that situation. A lot of teams would trade for Justin Fields to be in the situation where you have a quarterback that you believe could be worth building around. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So there wasn't fucking much left. The cupboard was bare, and he has rolled up, like, and really ripped shit down. And he's got a plan. I mean, you can't say that you don't know what the fuck he's doing. I think a lot of times Pace seemed to have a plan, but it was always like contradictory to Nagy's plan, or we'd be like, "What the fuck? He got you guys, and you can't use them."
Right. Well, I
Like,
think you said it last week. The guy went into the draft with 6 picks and he came out with 11.
yeah. I mean, that's fucking great.
Right.
Like, if you go into the, like you said, if you go into the grocery store with fucking $40 and you leave with $100 worth of groceries, like, that's good. Like, no matter
Exactly.
what, because you're hungry as fuck. You need all those groceries.
And it's
Yeah.
time. I mean, this roster, we've seen it. It's like the Bears rookie camp invitational.
And
you got
you're
6
trying to-
guys. You got six guys that you signed to the 90, and you let some of the guys go that you probably thought were gonna be possible contributors because they can't show out on the field.
if you are trying to install a new culture and mentality, you might as well ship everybody out that you fucking can. To be honest, nobody's safe.
No,
Get
and that
these
should be
fucking guys
established
out of here.
too.
I mean, and that's why Hicks is not back. As much as we wax poetic about Hicks, Hicks is
Don't bring
Hicks is
that
a
up in
locker
shade.
room piece of shit. Like, there was all kinds of stuff about how Hicks towards the end was just fucking being a malcontent. He's a fucking
Really?
crazy malcontent. And I don't blame him. He was right, but that's just not shit you talk about.
Yep.
Like, Hicks is the kind of guy that when the whistle blows, he gives crazy effort, but then talks shit about everybody after the play, including,
His
like,
availability was my biggest issue, though.
Yeah.
All the other shit, whatever. But like what we were paying him for when he was available just wasn't working out.
Well, and he was
Love him 100% healthy.
And he was a fucking penalty waiting to happen.
He was
And I
losing his
love
cool.
Hicks.
Yeah.
I love that dude. He's one of my most favorite players over the last 5 or 6 years in Bears. He's one of my favorite Bears players of all time. When he was playing, he was so fucking fun to watch. When he was doing his shit, like, one of my favorite Bears players of all time.
Zimmerman put out an interesting tweet too. I'll go ahead and finish your statement.
No, I just saying, like, but I can't have him back because we can't carry over any bitterness.
While Jared's looking that up, Daniel Greenberg, who I hate promoting, but he put out a poll: should the Chicago Bears bring back Akeem Hicks? 75% of the 15,746 votes said yes.
Jesus Christ, we're such a fucking fan base.
Well,
And I get it, because I probably would have said the same thing a week ago.
The one that Zimmerman put out is it's a hindsight poll. Hindsight poll for hashtag Bears fans. If Chicago drafted Aaron Donald in 2014, they don't have Kyle Fuller, don't sign Akeem Hicks, and don't trade for Khalil Mack because they were both due contracts in the same year. So Bears fans, would you rather have had Aaron Donald and keep the 2 first-round draft picks, or Fuller, Hicks, and Mack? 561 votes. 90% Aaron Donald.
Yeah, of course.
So that should tell you kind of where the mercurial pieces are to Bears fandom.
Well, it's obviously not the same people.
Right.
Like, when Daniel Greenberg tweets something, it is like full down the middle from Meathead Central. Like, Zimmerman is a niche.
Cubs fans love it.
I'm just like, the audience is the demographic that's voting on a Zimmerman poll versus voting on a, like, it's just, like, all the stupid teenage dipshit Bears fans, like, just the fucking idiots are following Greenfield or Greenberg, whatever the fuck is fucking aggregating lame ass is. Like, fucking Schefter's like toilet plunger. So that's what that dude is. Like,
another thing that went down, Brandon Marshall was interviewed, I forget where, but basically he was asked about Fields. He said the dude is next level. He can do it all. He's a modern day quarterback. He has the flair, the moxie to get it done. Thinks he could be a top 10 quarterback in the league. So it was cool to hear Brandon have some. JR, come on, man.
I hope so, man.
He's talented enough to get there.
But then you listen on Pro Football Talk with Sims, and it's like he's almost the opposite.
They didn't bash Fields on Pro Football Talk. They just said they didn't feel like they did their best to build things around him in the draft.
Well, he also said
Sims had problems with Fields though coming
had
out.
him at 31.
Yeah,
Had him as the
So
31st.
he's got an
pick in the
axe to
draft.
grind. I don't know.
So I mean,
and he's also smart. Every fucking how many times have we said this? You get the Bears fan base going. It's just good business for the media. Like it's just good business.
BK, nobody knows shit, but we're just spitting shit. So we don't know is what the comment was. Sorry, I should have put that up. But
No, of course. I mean, if there's anything we say on this show all the time, it's that we don't know. Like Jesus Christ. I mean, we're like, I have a PhD in not knowing. Like,
yeah.
I mean, and anybody who acts like they do know is just fucking full of shit. And they just
I think all the skills are there. That it's not unfathomable to think that if things start going right, this kid could be that kind of dude. I mean, that's not that far fetched.
I do believe that he wants it. I do believe that he has the ability to do it. It's just everybody knows that,
That's
buzzword. You heard that.
He's not. I mean, everybody knows that he's no Kyle Plitt. Let's just.
Oh yeah, his name wasn't Kyle, by the way.
No, but everybody accepted it as Kyle. What was his name?
It was. I've already forgotten it.
Jakub is trolling. I don't know if he knows he's trolling, but we'll just throw that up there.
Drew. His name is Drew.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That's another good name for a fellow of his.
It's all right. The game later on will show just how much we know.
The game. There's a game. He cut off to go get a game.
What would you do?
I actually did.
Bradbury's a free agent now.
So what?
They're not signing Bradbury.
I'm just asking,
no.
Would you make a play for him?
Are you trying to burn shit down?
No.
Jer?
You drafted Kyler that high.
You just signed some defensive back for 3 seasons who played for Charlotte.
Tavon Young.
I didn't even know that Charlotte had a team.
Wait, what? Who did we sign?
Signed this Jay Alexander guy. They gave him a 3-year contract. He's a UDFA, and he played for Charlotte. He's a safety.
Alrighty.
Yeah, like nice. they just like
Trey. Oh, that's the 6'2" guy, the big kid.
That like Trey Roberson. They like Trey Roberson his ass. They're like I
just thought it was interesting that he became available today, and it's like, well.
It's actually not that interesting. It was pretty much widely thought of that it was going to happen. Like, no, I'm not trying to be a dick. For Giants fans, it wasn't surprising. Like
can he play wide receiver?
They tried to trade him. He was making he was a $12 million cut, so it really was not surprising.
Can you put him at CB2 and settle that position for 2 years and let your rookie get experience?
No, he's gonna
ready to play now.
He's gonna make $10 million a year at least, Jer.
No, you drafted Kyler that high.
I'm just asking the question. That's all.
If it's not wide receiver, man, it's gonna be a problem.
I don't think they're going to sign anybody.
I'm just saying it'd be more realistic, I think, if it was a well-known wide receiver came available.
I
would agree with that.
I don't feel like they're going to sign anybody else of note. I'll be honest. Do you think they will?
Well, is Bradbury of note? I think he meant like a wide receiver that on that level of a James Bradbury.
Right.
I think that's what.
Bradbury's a top 15 cornerback in the league.
What?
Top.
He is.
I'm not speaking on
that. He's got 92. He's got 92 passes defensed in the last.
Yeah, he's a good
games.
What does that tell you? That tells you that a lot of people throw his way.
Yeah, but he's good, and he has
the Giants.
So good. Good. The ass Giants said, "See you later." He's that good.
Because they don't care about winning, and they don't want to spend $12 million on him.
Why? They have the money. What are they freeing up money for?
I don't know. They're going to spend it somewhere else.
Top 15. No way.
Biscuits. You got anything Bears related that you want to talk about that you heard during the week?
Shout out. I'm going to butcher his name. First name maybe Tito Ortiz. something
UFC?
Ortiz, new Bears long snapper, might be enough
Oh,
to
long snapper chat.
tip the scales, so to speak.
Whoa!
Oh.
Wow.
Listen,
That
we
just happened.
know. Patrick Scales is 34,
Scale.
getting up there. And this
Yep.
Ortiz kid was a finalist for the Patrick Manley Player of the Year, an award given to long snappers. Meatballs everywhere rejoice. Who knows? Maybe we got a hot long snapping competition to watch in training
He's got a
camp, boys.
brother that's also a long snapper. I'm thinking long snappers everywhere. Long snappers all over the field.
Pew, pew,
I'm
pew,
thinking
pew.
multiple long snappers.
Retired MMA fighter
I
turned
mean,
long
you
snapper.
know, you do the math.
Yeah,
Multiple
Tito,
long
Ortiz,
snappers.
Tito
Do the
Ortiz,
math.
bro, the UFC fighter.
Yeah.
He gets a really good ball spin on his snaps.
Oh, you got a
Ooh.
breakdown.
Oh, I did.
It's
I
like
watched a ton of tape.
So like a
Nice.
Grinded
thumbs out speed.
Doesn't
Wrist-
lie, you know. It
wrist
just
Why do you? That's the second week you brought that up. It's almost as like annoying as when you bring up Brady. Like really fap into the tape with biscuits.
Oh, now
Two
you
hand-
want me to
A
talk
two
about?
hand snapper or a one hand snapper?
Did you see that $3 million car he just bought?
Who?
Tom Brady.
No.
I blame
Good for
Diddy. He
him.
mentioned his name. I wasn't
Was
even
it an
thinking about it.
NFT?
What I said is keep it Bears.
So I'm looking at the wide receiver free agent list right now.
That did not bear mentioning, by the way. Thank you for that.
So I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't see Albert
I'm not
Wilson,
talking about
maybe.
I'm not talking about the guys that are
Albert
available,
Wilson.
Jer. I'm talking about surprise cuts, surprise roster moves that guys end up being on waivers and all that shit. That there's going to be some movement.
Albert Wilson, Jesus H.
That was 3
Albert
years
Wilson
ago.
torched us that game.
Against
Yeah, he
Miami on the road.
I mean,
in
he's
2000.
29.
When we got overheated
He's
and
29.
No.
You can get him on a 1 year.
No,
Hey, you
we
know
have
that
Pringle.
was like 3 seasons ago? Like, it's hard to believe. But that's old shit. That Albert Wilson. He hasn't done shit since then. That was like his last good game.
Tajay Sharp.
Who?
Huh?
Tajay Sharp.
Former
Tajay Sharp.
Titan.
That's not a guy. That's not a guy.
Titan Falcon.
Let's play the
I mean,
game.
really,
Is that a
that's-
guy?
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I mean, the list is pretty bad. That's the point. So,
Well, yeah, we know that, but we're talking about like
Well,
guys that
and-
may be released from another team.
And
when
Jaguars
shit starts
ruined
hitting.
everything by overpaying
Christian Kirk.
Christian
Yep.
Kirk. They fucked the wide receiver market. But everybody benefited from it except for Allen Robinson somehow. Interesting, right?
Yeah, I'd say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I really want to win. Okay.
So before we get to this game, do you guys have any shade you want to throw?
I'm gonna throw any shade at anybody that wants to come against the triumvirate of Jack Sanborn, Dougie Kramers, and yours
It was so
truly.
funny. You brought that up, and literally every podcast was Jack Sanborn. I was like,
Jack
I'm gonna
Sanborn
die.
has pretty much already made the roster, boys. It's Jack Sanborn's world. We are just living in it, my friends. Let me tell you a little story about Jack Sanborn, if I may. Jack Sanborn, age 5, once saved a van full of nuns from a cliff
St.
of
Ignatius
sharks.
nuns.
From a cliff of sharks.
The van
What
was
the-
hurtling over a cliff into a shark pit, and Jack Sanborn, age 5, stopped the van single-handedly, saving the nuns, releasing the sharks into a safe habitat, and saving them as well. Jack motherfucking
Oh.
Sanborn has already made the team. He's already the assistant GM. Ian Cunningham has had to move. It's unfortunate. This is what has happened, but Jack Sanborn is a force of nature, my friends.
All
That
right.
was the best shade I've ever heard.
My shade might not match up with that shade, but there was a highlight of Christian Watson making a catch at practice, unguarded. Okay.
Are we talking about practice?
So the same people that wanted him 2 weeks ago are now trying to justify the fact that he's not here by shitting on him for the one catch, saying, if there's a quarterback on him, like all shitting on Christian Watson now. It's just funny,
That's
man.
terrible.
Like how you try to like
It's embarrassing.
flip the script. But yeah, just stop the bullshit. And like I think Jonathan Wood had a tweet that was mildly negative. It's the same shit like when I forgot who it was. It wasn't Florio, but they started calling us the Jaguars. We brought that up earlier in 18, and everybody flipped the fuck out.
Yeah.
Or like Mitch, and his jersey would be on sale at Filene's basement. He wasn't a good draft pick. Everybody flipped the fuck out.
Or when you
Like-
said that he was going to beat Tebow.
If there's any negativity against the Bears, it's just the same fucking cycle of bullshit on Twitter where
I say that.
the pitchforks come up, and it's like, just chill the fuck out. people.
T-Boski.
That's my shade. Just
T-Boski.
chill out.
Yeah, I don't think anyone else was calling him T-Boski for the record except for me.
That garnered a little bit of attention, as I recall.
Yeah, but then I defended his ass like a bitch. So whatever.
Biscuits, you got any shade?
Don't think I have any shade this week, actually.
Wow.
Do you have a game to play?
And
I
you've
do
been
have
on
a game.
Twitter. You've been
I
on
have
Twitter,
not.
and you
I
have
have
no
not
shade.
been on Twitter. I have
Oh,
not.
nice. That's a
not.
blessing. That's
So-
a gift.
Jared, do you have shade?
Just the people that don't appreciate bets for roster spots and then try to say, oh, it was for the 53.
90
The
minutes on
roster.
Ooh, actually, I do have shade. My shade is towards the Dougie Kramer's Hate Club. Top
Ooh.
left, right there.
Ooh.
Bring it on.
Looking at an integral part of this football team. That is my shade.
Shit.
That's
Okay.
Dougie Kramer is the fucking glue, gorilla glue, holding everything together. Hallis Hall could collapse, and Dougie Kramer would hold it up with one fucking pinky. And he'd be like, "This way, boys, we're going over there to win the fucking game."
BK in the chat. Biscuits equals lamb.
I have no shade this week.
Whoa, a couple minutes ago, he was ready to go
Yeah,
on
he
his
was
OnlyFans.
on my army, and now all of a
Yeah, the
sudden, I'm,
manic. Wow, look at how your fucking squad just turns on
man,
you.
Well,
Jeez.
it's
such a
on
cold
brand.
world out there.
It's on brand.
Yeah, it is.
World.
Yeah. You know what biscuits are?
You are
Flaky.
not by the Biscuitville, BK.
Flaky ass biscuit, bro. Not even surprising.
Listen,
The biscuit.
I channeled all my energy into the game this week, so my shade just kind of got lost. Okay,
All right,
So
so
let's play the
Oh,
game
let's
because
play
we're
the
running out
game.
of time.
Yes,
Cue-
we are.
Gotta get
cue the game music. Welcome to this week's game. You have your returning champion, Double A. He was out of service for months, and he schooled you, Tony. He schooled you, Diddy. Can he run it back-to-back weeks? This week's game, since this is a pod about the press conferences,
Oh.
you will get a press conference quote, and you have to tell me what player said it out of the
Ooh.
rookies.
Oh my God. This
Are
is
you
gonna be a
ready?
disaster.
First answer, first right answer gets the point. Quote, Jared, this might tickle your fancy. I hate losing more than I hate winning.
Tire Carter.
Boom! AA's on the board. 1-0. Diddy's disappeared. He's taking a dump. He's already in the last place. Quote, every guy is a great person.
We don't have a
Ebner.
buzzer.
That's got to be Getsy.
No, it's Ebner. No, it wasn't Ebner. It was
Ryan
Robinson.
Bolt.
AA
It was Robinson.
2-0, guys. You guys are really you're getting behind.
It was
I
Robinson.
really need to
But
pay
he's talking
more
his
attention.
way. He's answered wrong first. You have to be more judicial with your shit. Like,
Yeah.
That's not how the game
I'm
works.
sorry. Are you hosting this game?
I get to keep. Yeah, turn your camera off.
Hey, anybody?
wait! It was Ebner. It was Valus. It was Kyler.
Oh wow! Comes with the fucking AA impersonation too. And I do the Diddy impersonation. Whatever,
All right.
man. Whatever.
Like, is that the buzzer? Wait, I got it.
It's like whatever.
To review, AA has 2, Pony
Yes.
has 0,
2 fucking
Diddy
points,
has
no official
0.
adjustments.
Will this question start to
Continue the
turn the
game.
tide? Do we have a comeback Kentucky Derby style in one of these two?
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Quote.
No, we don't.
No.
Quote, I'm hungry. I see ball, I get ball.
Brisker.
Oh, why, Jer?
Poor or something and hungry. That would seem to be the.
Wow, bro.
Correct answer? Was it
the
Brisker?
No, it was not Brisker.
Wow, bro.
That was what somebody else
You
said
know
about
what?
him.
Mute. This is like around the horn. Go ahead and mute Jer. He's
Yeah.
cut off for 15 seconds.
I'm in the penalty box,
Quote, I'm
and I feel
hungry.
shame.
I see ball, I get ball. I see some Googling. I see
There's
some.
no Googling.
You're
There's no
old-
Googling.
You cannot be using new tech or old tech, Diddy.
There's no Googling.
What are you
Bayless
talking
Jones
about?
is using the BlackBerry.
Busted. Get off your Nokia.
What are you talking about, bro?
Here, this lady does this.
Yeah, just
Ball, I get ball.
I'm
Kyler Gordon.
hungry. I see ball. I get ball.
Kyler Gordon.
Oh man, no! Come on, guys. Jesus, did you even watch the pressers?
Luke Getsy.
Yeah, Luke Getsy said, "I'm hungry. I see ball. I get ball."
Hey, it was a weird part of the presser. I'm just saying he said it. It was weird. It went sideways.
Going once,
Dominique Robinson.
going twice.
Bayless Jones Jr.
Elijah Hicks, boys, come on.
That's
Oh,
right. He's
Hicks. I
I didn't know
hear
he
that
even
presser.
did a presser. He did a presser?
Listen.
No,
Yeah,
he
he did
did.
a presser. He did
He
a
did.
presser.
Mm.
All right, this one I think's really gonna turn the tide. Okay,
He did a presser for the minicamp or the draft.
He did one of them.
He did one of them. Who knows? Okay, the game knows no bounds. Okay,
Oh, okay. Now we're just pulling
Area
every
scout.
presser.
Never
Yeah.
question the game.
area scout.
scout Jeff Shiver had this to say about this player. Quote, he's just so steady.
That wasn't minicamp, bro.
He's just so steady.
Kyler Gordon.
No.
Brisker.
No.
Can you say the quote again? I
Robinson.
wasn't paying
He's
attention.
steady. He started.
What area? What area did he scout?
College.
What area does he scout?
Midwest.
Okay, there we go.
Eddie.
Dougie Kramer.
Boom! Jer on the board
Isn't that
with a point.
That
Dougie
Jer
Kramer.
identifies the person talking positively about his it's like Jer's like, there's only room for one Kramer in this town.
Damn right. Oh boy.
See that
Two
Yaku
more,
saying
two
double A? I
more.
see the Google and the reflection.
More.
of your-
I've got a chance for the comeback.
Oh. Quote, it's good to see specialists get recognized. End quote.
Bayless
Eberflus.
Jones.
No.
The punter.
Correct, AA.
Yeah.
It is Trenton Gill, 3-1-0. And this
It's
one,
over.
It doesn't
it's
matter.
over. It's done. Our two-time champion, Double A. I can tell he really dug into these pressers hard.
You know, I read the same
Diddy.
fucking
Diddy,
thumbnails.
big, big zero, man.
I could just start spitting out names till I got one right. I didn't take that approach. My bad.
Oh, that's right. You didn't even have your camera on for half of it. That was your approach. Fucking
For the first question. Oh, did I do
Cool,
that?
man. Do
Did my mic? Did my mic do that?
No,
Oh, okay.
I heard a fur. Did you not?
So my mic did that. Nice.
But did it not? I don't know.
We got anything else, boys? Biscuits, good job on the.
I don't want to talk
game
about
show.
the Derby,
Chat,
so I guess
chat,
not.
with the chat, which is packed full, really enjoyed your impersonation of me, Diddy. So the chat, all the chatters, all the
Shout out, BK.
shout
Shout
out to the who's got a mega chat. Anyone jump on
Hey,
the old
if-
Patreon to give us
Yeah.
a mega chat?
If you guys want, me and Biscuits will both open up an OnlyFans, and I can do more impressions for you.
So yeah, you guys, if anyone in the chat wants to get on the chatterbait, fucking out. They like our takes.
We should run a Twitter
Thank
poll.
you.
Whose
Oh.
OnlyFans would do better, mine or Diddy's?
I don't really care.
I'm gonna say Diddy's. You know, he's
Yeah.
kind of scrappy. You know,
Yeah,
sort
he's
of
got
moody.
that.
I'm not.
he's
I'm
got
not.
that,
I-
like,
I-
he's got
if
that
it came
Boston
down
boy
to
band energy.
if it came down to nudes, I would definitely win. But I'm not doing that. So
Oh,
You don't
Wow.
like the. You don't think that Diddy has that Boston boy band energy about him that the girls go wild for?
No,
new edition, not New Kids on the Block. Just to
Yeah.
clarify.
Got, like,
no, I'm thinking.
tough guy with a silky smooth voice.
Come on, Marky Mark, let's go.
No, not
I'll
like
take
that.
Marky Mark's bankroll.
Shit, what we all?
Yeah.
That got everybody quiet.
We just
Right.
think about. I just thought about Marky Mark in his underwear just now.
what?
That's how we started.
Wow, what an ending to the pod. Go ahead and clip that audio, boys. That'll
Dun,
just
dun,
sound
dun,
drop.
dun, 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 dun. Feel it. Dun, 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 dun.
Diddy about to quit the show. First, I was the reason. Coob. Now AA's back.
What?
I
Cool.
don't know.
I don't
Kiss the
know.
ring, boys.
That's it.
Think that about
Do we pay Coob double when he goes more than 10 minutes? Is that how the deal works?
No,
No.
no.
Look at Jared, so quick to be like, oh, no.
No. No.
It's my $3.
No.
$3. What the hell are you
Yeah,
where we
talking
getting
about?
$3
That's a
from?
good. That's a good month.
No. I'm saying we dock him if he's only 8 minutes. Fucking 8-minute man. Get your full 10 in, bro. I want to see 14 with those ads.
He
Bro.
put a big
Get
one
your
in
weight up.
25
yeah,
minutes.
it was,
last
yeah, it
week.
was like 25 minutes this past
Oh,
week.
Full
I'm saying,
breakdown.
did
He
we-
loves
did
Dougie Kramer.
He even threw out a trigger warning. He was like, listen, I'm going longer than 10. Oh.
It's good to know. Dude, some of the listeners had to sign a waiver because they've
I mean,
they've
yo.
never had anyone go that deep.
Coop,
with the Coob.
Coop doing Kegels hits different, bro.
Yeah, Coob Kegels.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yeah. we got Coop Kegels and Marky Mark in his underwear. AA.
Kegels and bits.
Like I said,
Coob's
I'll
in
take that
bits.
bankroll though.
Yeah, I'll take Coob's bankroll too.
Right?
Yep.
But
Take them all.
I think that about wraps it up, guys. It's just another episode of the Tailgate Show.
Tailgate show.
Duh, Kramers.
The weird underwear fetish. show.
Fetish? It's not a fetish.
Wait, Jared just signed up for my
Next thing you know, you're gonna
OnlyFans. That's
be thinking
crazy.
about Jack Sanborn